Hi everyone. This is going to be, as you can see by the way the screen looks, today I'm going to be giving you guys a step-by-step tutorial on how to properly format an essay in MLA, Modern Language Association format. Um, Based on some of the diagnostic essays I've received thus far, some of you are already familiar with MLA and some of you are not. Well, I figured the easiest way to do it, since we're not actually in the classroom where I could just go through it step by step on on the projector, I'm just going to do a short video tutorial on it. Now, as you can see over here, I have a blank document on Microsoft Word open. This is Word 2010 just because I don't feel like buying the new one. If I'm going to buy hardware or software for my computer, it's going to have something to do with gaming probably. Not Anyway, this is virtually the same as far as you setting up your essays. The interface and all this up here is pretty much the same. So this is the default. This is me opening up a blank document. I've made no changes. This is what it normally looks like. So first things first for MLA. And you can do these in whatever order you wish. This is just the order I do them. We're right here on the Home tab, as you can see where my pointer is. We need to change this and this. This is our font and this is the font size. The standard for MLA in the current 8th edition is Times New Roman. So we want to open up this little drop down menu here and we want to find Times New Roman. Go ahead and click that. Make sure it says Times New Rom up here, Times New Roman, and you're good to go. Now as far as font size, the standard is 11 or 12. Go ahead and make it 12. Just it makes it easier to read, and anyway, just 11 or 12 is fine, but plus it's a little bit bigger, which means technically you don't have to write as much. Little secret there. Now once we have our font and our font size set up, the next thing we want to do is make our paragraph format correct. So what we want to do is go here to this small tab that says paragraph. Right here you've got this little drop down. Go ahead and click it. This will open up. Now the default is going to say multiple for line spacing. We don't want that. We want to go to the drop down menu and select double. Okay, once we've done that, and you can set it as default so you don't, anytime you do these adjustments, you can set them as default, and that way when you open it up, it'll save it and it should already go right to these settings. But I'm showing you how to do it from what the natural default is for Microsoft Word, and this is 2010 or 16, whichever one you have. So hit OK when we're done with that. Now, again, you can do these in whatever order, but this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. Per MLA, you need to have your last name and the page number in the upper right-hand corner here. So how do you do that? A lot of people struggle with this, and it makes sense because Microsoft didn't, in my opinion, didn't do a very good job. So what we want to do now is go to Insert. Now when you're up here in this menu up here, if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse, you can just put your pointer on it and scroll, and it'll scroll through it. But the default is Home, obviously. So we want to go to Insert. Now when we get to this Insert menu up here, we do not want to choose Header. Don't do that. That will mess you up and you're making yourself do way more work than you need to. We want to go here to choice number 3, page number, because you want your last name and the page number in the upper right hand corner of the entire essay from page 1 all the way through. Some professors specify that they don't want it on the first page. Well, that's their own specifications. So do it. I mean, if they ask you not to do it that way, do it that way. But I'm going strictly by MLA standards for the latest edition. So this is pure MLA, not the way I want you to do it. This is the way MLA is structured. So we go up to page number. You're going to get a drop-down menu with some options. You want to pick top of page because that's where we want it. We want it in the top right. So obviously we're going to go over here and we are going to choose plain number 3. Okay, that's going to open this menu up. Now, your last name is all that goes over here, not your first initial, not your first and last name, just your last name. The page number is already there. So I'm just going to use my name. But it will be your last name. Do not put my last name up here. This is for demonstration purposes. After you type in your last name, hit the space bar once. So there should be a space between your last name and the page number. Once you're done with that, there's a little X up here to close header. You can just double click below this dotted line if you want, but just hit the close header footer and you're done. Okay, now we've already set up here, we're already good to go. You see, we've got our double spacing and all that. So now, again, standard MLA, you do not need a title page. What I'm about to show you is the title page. If one of your professors specifically requests a title page, don't argue with them. Give them a title page. Title pages are allowed in MLA. The standard is not to have them. And this goes for publications. If I was turning, something I've written in for publication consideration, I would format it exactly like this. This is how they ask for it. Most publications, including, fiction, not just academic stuff. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your first name, last name. Not last name first, first name, none of that. So for me, it would look like this. Since I'm the author, I would put, oops. That's it. You don't put last name first, none of that. Now we've already got our line spacing all set up, so just hit enter one time and you've got 2 spaces. Okay, oh, and real quick, make sure that you are aligned left. That's this button right here. Some people use justify. Do not. Don't use that. It's horrible. Keep it right here, align left. Okay, so now next, after you put in your first and last name, you put the instructor's name. So I'm just going to put Mr. B. After that, you put the course. Now, here you can put English 1101, whatever. I do it like it is in the catalog. So that would be ENGL, ENGL 1101. Now, what's important here is you need to also include your section number, because I'm teaching nothing but 1101 right now, and I need to know what class you're in, what section. So just hit, well, space there, a little hyphen, and put your section. So if you're in section L48, you would put L48. So ENGL 1101 L48. Hit enter one more time, and now you're ready for the date. Now, MLA does the date different from, it does it more closer. Anybody's got any military experience or worked for the government, you do it that style. I just call it military style. As I'm filming this right now, recording this, it's the 16th of August. So I would put 1/6, you do the day, then you spell out the entire month. No commas anywhere. And then you put the full year, not just 2020. So that's what your heading should look like. Your first and last name, the instructor's name, professor's name, the course name and section number, and then the date in this format. Okay, so after that, we're going to hit enter one more time. Now, MLA, well, at least I require titles for your essays. So the title of your paper, anything you're doing in MLA, should be centered. So we're going to go back up here to this feller right here. This is center. And if you want to do the hotkeys, you can just hit Control-E or whatever. I just use the mouse. I prefer a mouse. I play a lot of games. So once we have that centered, your title is the same font, the same size. You don't make it bold, you don't underline it, you don't put it in italics, none of that. You do it just like the rest of the essay. So, and you obviously capitalize the title. So that's it, title. Hit enter one more time. We're still centered. We need to go back to align left. Now that's your cover page. That's all the information you need, and you're ready to start writing your essay. However, when you start a new paragraph, including your first paragraph, now again, there are some professors who say not to indent the first paragraph of an essay. Well, that's their own preference. MLA rules state that every new paragraph, including the first one, is indented. So to indent, don't sit there and hit the space bar 3 or 4 times, 5 times, and count it out. Hit the tab button one time. Tab, T-A-B. Hit it one time, and you are ready to start writing. And you just keep, you know, going and going and going, and just all your margins are already set up. So, oh, I don't know what. So you're ready to go until you're done, and then when you get to a new paragraph, you just keep going and going and going. And when you get to a new paragraph, you hit tab one more time, and then capitalize. You're in a new paragraph. You keep going, and you just keep going. And that's how you do. That's MLA format right there. Once you have this all set up, that's it. You know, Times New Roman, 12 point. You got your last name, your page number right here, your first and last name, the instructor's name, the course and the section number, the date in this format, day, spell out the entire month, and the year. No commas, centered title, indent every new paragraph. And that's all you have to do. That is MLA. Now, after the second essay, or once we get to the second essay, the first essay is, this won't be necessary because it's personal experience. But when we do get into using outside sources, MLA gets a lot more complicated. Okay, how to do internal citations, how to properly set up a works cited page. That gets a lot more complicated. But this is the basic format. This is all you need for your first paper. Okay. I will do a completely separate video on how to do citations, how to conduct research properly and effectively, and how to set up a works cited page. That'll all be completely separate, and it will be much more in-depth and much longer than this. But that's basically all you need to do. Now, don't forget, when you're done with your essay, don't just hit the save button when you're saving it. Hit save as, so that you can actually give it a title. You can title it whatever, essay 1, blah, 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 whatever. Pick where you want to save it. Want it in your desktop, want it in local disk C, local disk E. I got 2 hard drives. I got an SSD and a good old-fashioned HDD. But where you want to save it, what you want to title it, just so you can find it. If you want to save it to a flash drive, I highly suggest that. You could save it to the cloud. I'm not big on that myself. I prefer to have it on one of my hard drives and also on a flash drive. I like it to be in my possession. I don't like it to be in the cloud. I'm old school, I guess. But of course, I'm not going to save this right now, so I'll just hit cancel. And that's basically all you do. That's how you format your papers, and that's what they all should. This is what they should all look like. So, and of course, you guys know by now, I hope, that if you have any specific questions or you need help walking through it, you can call me, email me, text me, whatever, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure you get everything squared away. But that's what MLA format looks like. So.